Good. Come and reach up high to the ceiling. So really thinking about those fingers. Imagine that soft feet. You're going up to the ceiling, really using your abs. Good. Come and windmill your arms. So nice soft feet. Good. And windmill the other way. And now I want you to swing. So a bit like a bored child, warming up into your waist. Perfect. Good, and settle into the middle. Come and stretch down side to side. Perfect. Good. Well done. And shoulders up and down. And again, shoulders up. Let all your stress. Good, and one more. And down. That's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start with the yoga warm-up today. So standing up really nice and tall. I want you to relax your head down. Come down at your ribs, waist. Hand comes down to the floor. Come step back into plank. So head goes over your hands. Core is nice and tight. Think about that space in between your shoulders. Pushing down into your heels. Think about lifting up that belly button. And then push back into your heels. And give me a downward dog. So just take a second in this position to think, stretching out the backs of your legs, stretching out your shoulders, and then come and bend one knee and then the other knee, stretching your calf down to the floor. Good, and then come back into that full plank here. Chest is lifted, core is nice and tight. Come down to the floor with your elbows and lift up the top of your head. So stretching out your abs, lower down into the floor, tuck your toes underneath, come back into plank, step forwards with one leg. So here's your hip flexor stretch here. Good, come and step forward and one more deep breath in. Lovely, so come and repeat that on the other side. So tipping forward, bending down, knees are bent, stretch back so you're into a full plank. Holding that here with your head in line with your spine. And just a second in this plank, this time, I want you to try and drop your hips down. So you're getting a hip flexor stretch. It's a rainbow plank, really getting into that waist. But I can get a really lovely stretch on the side of my hips as I'm going side to side. Good, come and settle into the middle here. Heels are pushing back, lifting up through that core. Well done, push back into downward dog. And this one, I like having my hands a bit closer to my feet. And this time, bend both your feet so you're in bear. And then push your heels down. So a couple more of those, so really bending those knees. And then straightening, pushing down into your heels. So I'm lifting up through my core and pushing down. Good, you've got two more. And one. Well done. Come and drop down. Think about that lift through your belly button. Elbows are nice and tight here. Lift up on the top of your head. So stretching out your hip flexors. Belly button coming down to the floor, tuck under, push up here and step forward. With your left leg this time, the hip flexor stretch and come forward. Lovely, come up. I'm going to do one more of those each side. So really think about that lift. So open out your chest, come and turn your shoulders forwards, come down so you're bending your hands onto the floor. Step back so you're dropping your hips. Really lifting in through that belly button. Elbows come down here. Good, come and give me a back bend. So stretching out your abs. Lowering down, push back into plank here. Push back into your heels. Chest is lifted. Heels are going down into the floor. Good, this time, come and lift off one leg. So you really have to pull your tummy in. Head is tucked in, Hands, if you can, walk them towards your foot, turning that back hip down so you can feel that stretch in your underneath leg. Lovely, come in with your knees into your chest here. Now I want you to do that again. So I'm going to turn this into an ab exercise. So you've got that straight leg back, and then knee comes in and hovers into your chest. So there's your downward dog. Knee is turned in, come into hover here. Good, see if you can do me 3 more. So you've got 3. Good, and 2. Good. And 1. Perfect. Come and settle down onto the floor. Step forward, giving me that hip flexor stretch. Well done. So head, hands are going either side of your feet. Head's in line with your spine. Good. And just hold this, dropping your hip for a second. And place one hand on the floor. I want you to give me a chest stretch here. So all I'm doing is lifting up one side, trying to stretch up into my chest. I feel it stretching my IT band here at the back and turning at the waist. So you both sides. Good, so that twist is here. And then come and swap over. So palm comes down and lift up the other side. So really trying to get into that waist. Trying getting into your core. Hip is going down and up to the ceiling, really opening out that chest. Well done. Good, I want you to stay there and come up. And just drop down for that super deep hip flexor stretch. Well done. So that back heel's lifted, we're leaning back, really trying to get into that lunge position. Well done, and come forwards. Felt quite heavy on the quads, that one. So up you come, opening out your chest, head drops down, curling down through the middle, hands go down into the floor. Come and step backwards, and here is your plank. So hovering here, head's in line with your spine, lifting up through your belly button, relaxing your neck and shoulders. Good, turning those hips and feet square if you can. Good, push back into downward dog. So chest is lifted, trying to wrap those elbows in so you've got your triceps. Good, and then to make it harder, come up onto one leg, try and turn your hip down into the floor, pushing with your head, lifting that back leg as far as it can go. Good, so everyone, I'm going to come at the other side so you can see. So knee comes into your chest here, dropping your hip. Push back to your heads and your hands. Good, and do me a few more repetitions of this. So knee is in, and then push back, hip stays square. Knee comes in, dropping your hip to the floor, and push up. Good, so knee comes forwards, and lift up. Good, see if you can do me 2 more. Perfect. Lovely, and this one, come and step through. So here is that stretch. I want you to come into the back one again. So twisting up into your waist, turning your palm to the sides. Lovely, and switching over to the other side. Opening out that chest here. Perfect, both hands come down and coming up. Do you see me wobble there? Good, dropping that hip down, turning your foot down. Good, really leaning back, that looks lovely. So really trying to open your chest, dropping down into that knee position. Perfect, well done. So I now want you to come to really wide second and turn one foot straight and then one toe pointed. This is the warrior position. So you're stretching through your fingers. You should feel like you're tucking your bottom under and holding this position. You should feel a stretch on your inside thigh. Core's really nice and tight. Feel like someone's pulling through your middle fingers. Good, come and switch over. And again, finding that chest stretch here. So you're working into your waist, holding that position. Good, and then come and do the switch again. So palm comes down, You're twisting up to the other direction. Perfect, and come down into the middle. Toes both point forwards. Now I'd like flat back and hands to the side. I want you to come and bend your feet down and then come and hover up. So you're getting a wide squat. Really feel like your arms are lifting. And I can feel crazy core. So I'm slightly dropping down and then lift up through those shoulders. Head is nice and long. I've got weight into my toes to feel this one working. Good, you've got 2 more. Think about breathing in as those arms come up. Good, and now reach a little bit further forwards with those hands. Weight is into your toes and really stretch that flat back. So my weight's forwards in those feet. Again, lifting up my belly button. Toes are forwards, and then come and reach forwards to make it harder. So I want you to come from down here. Use your core, try and lift your arms up. We're just going to hold that there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Should have felt really good stretch on the backs of your legs. We need to come and change over to the other side. So warrior 1, other leg is bent, leaning forward. And just really think about that tail tucking under so you're getting it into your legs. Come bend over when you're ready. You can hang on to your calf, hang on to the floor if that's available to you. Just find that space in your chest and shoulders. Good, come and twist over to the other side. Perfect. Lovely, and come back down to the middle here. Perfect, good. This time, I want you to come up into the middle and hands come up above your head. You just want slow squat and up. Good. It's just really getting into those inside thighs. Perfect. We've got 3. Good, 2 more of these. Last one, I want you to come and hold it down for me. So stay here. Perfect. Bring your arms down. So we're just going to hold this for a second, stretching that inside thigh here. And then I want you to come and stretch over. Keep your foot turned out, couldn't decide which one I wanted to do then. So really stretching a bit more here and then coming over. So this one feels quite jazz dance. It's quite flash dance, this one, with the chest down. But you're moving from one side to the other, really trying to lift up your core. Knees are straight. Good. And now turn your feet in. Bring those hands forwards. And just take a second to work out, where can you hold having your legs this wide? Might need to readjust to make the space work. Come into your toes. And I want you to come into tricep push-up and come up. I want you to think about those elbows being tight. So this is working the backs of your arms. It's working your core where you're in a wide plank. Lifting up through your belly button and trying to get as far down as you can. Good, so if you can do me 2 more of these. Well done, and 1 more. Lovely, collapse this one down here and come to your lying face down on the floor. Perfect, so quick little relax one. Have your knees together and give me a quad stretch. So your heels into your bottom, knees are together and squeezing here. Good, come and stretch out the other side. Good, pushing that hip down to the floor. Good, I want you to do that 1 more time. So switch over your feet, heels into your bottom, and then lift up through that chest. Hip comes down into the floor. Good, so I'm just lifting off, and then the other side. So I can feel with that heel lifting off, I get a bit more chest, a bit more into my hip flexor. That's perfect. And I now want to do a little bit of work on your back. So I want you to take your arms forward. So this always feels a bit like it's a swimming exercise without any water. And so my hands are hovering off the floor here. They're about 6 inches, they're parallel. And you keep them off the floor so you squeeze your elbows together. So you are trying to relax your neck and shoulders, and then it's your subscapular, it's these back muscles that you're trying to squeeze together, and I'm slightly lifting up a little bit more. So it's half into that cobra, half working those back muscles. Doing computers and sitting and driving, these muscles get really weak, and it can really improve your posture if you can get them stronger. Well done. Perfect. Come and bring your arms underneath you. So your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. We're going to come back into our first normal plank. So lifting up through your belly button. Head is relaxed into your spine. Now I just want you to hold this up for a few breaths. Breathing in through your nose, pushing down into your feet. Perfect. I then want you to shift forwards and hold as far forward as you can. So I'm right into that toe joint. My nose is crazy forwards. Hold it here for a couple of breaths and then push back as far as I can. So really stretching those calves, getting your heels into the floor. Good, and then come forwards again. So shifting nose forwards. Lovely, and push your heels down into the floor here. Lovely, one more time. So here's your shift forwards. And I can crazy feel this is just using completely different ab muscles as I change where that weight is on the plank. Lovely, come and sit back. Stretch out your upper back. So child's pose feels amazing. Stretching your shoulders forwards. Come and take it over to one corner. So your hands are forwards here. And then take it over to the other corner for a crazy shoulder stretch. Well done. Come back into your planks. This is quite a strong plank circuit, this next one. So come back into normal plank. So the last one, we were going forwards and back. And now this time, I want you to go side to side. So this is a rainbow plank where you are twisting on your hip. If this feels too hard, you can come to 3/4 and get that knee going side to side. You can still get that stretch into your hip. Head is pushed up. And I want you to tip that hip down onto the floor. Really working into your waist. Perfect. Oh, these feel tough. Good. And one. Lovely. And our next stretch, there's lots of planks coming up. Our next one, I want you to do a cat and cow. So tucking your hip under, so you become a rainbow. Stretching your shoulders. Breathe out here, so lifting up that bottom. So lift up through your belly button, stretching your shoulders here. Breathe out, stretch into your tail. Good, give me 2 more of these. So really thinking about that curve in your tummy. Good, and arching back, finding that space. Well done. Come back into that plank. So we've twisted forwards and backwards, gone side to side. This time I want you to go out and in. So I want you to come and tap your foot. So you're trying to take that foot to the side. Nothing else is moving. Getting right into that bottom cheek. Hips are down. Good, you've got 2 more. And 1. Good, come and tap out with the other leg. So I'm just readjusting. So bottom is down. Good. And you're trying to get right into that waist. This one feels right when I can feel it in my oblique. When I can feel it that my waist is working. And my butt cheek. Good. And 1. Perfect. Lovely. So next stretch, come onto all fours, take one leg back and lift up through your belly button. You can stay there if you want to. If you can find your balance, other leg comes up, and I want you to come in and out. So draw elbow into your knee and shoot forwards. Now I'm trying to lift up my belly button. I'm pointing my toe, breathing in and out through your nose. Good. Perfect. So really lifting up. Knee comes in and out to your chest. Good. And one more. Lovely. Come and switch over to the other side. So knee comes in. Stretch backwards with that hip. Good. So really thinking about that core, that belly button. Turning your hip down. Now I have to really think about belly button being lifted in order to make this one work. Good, you've got two more. Good. And one, absolutely perfect. Good, so next one, coming back down into that plank. Told you there was lots of planks coming up in this one. Hips coming down. This time, I would like you to come and give me a Spider-Man. So I'm trying to stay flat, and then my knee comes towards my elbow. So again, I'm trying not to move anything. Everything stays still. It's just that leg. So you shouldn't see my bum coming up. Head stays in line with my spine. And again, it's trying to get into your waist. Core is nice and tight. Perfect. So still thinking about that breathing. Staying nice and low. Perfect. Good, you've got 3, 2, and 1. Perfect, come back to all fours. So I release and I'll stretch on this one. I want you to come and give me my shoulder stretch. So my weight is quite even on both hands. I want you to come and wind under and put your head on the floor and turn your head up to the ceiling. So really putting that weight on your shoulder, lifting up to the ceiling. And actually roll if you can and find that space on your shoulder. Good, and then come and switch over to the other side. So reaching through, weight of your shoulder as you're rocking backwards and forwards, stretching out that shoulder blade. Good. And 1. Perfect. I'm going to do one last plank. Now we've done a lot. So elbows come underneath you. This time I want a cross climber plank. So we've worked the outsides, we've worked the insides. I want your knee to come across your body. And so you're going opposite knee to elbow. And this one I find harder, that I have to reset my bottom each time. So I'm really thinking down and then plank, down and then plank. Good. And 3. Good, you've got 2. Perfect. And 1. Really nice. Okay, so not going too far now. Come and take one knee forward. Going to work a little bit into your hip flexors. I did quite a lot of this last week. So hip flexor stretch. Opening out your chest. I'm going to link my hands together and have them behind you. We're here. Good. So really opening out that chest. Lifting your hands. So I'll get a lovely chest stretch and some on my hips. Good. Hands come together and then lean back and actually push your bottom. Perfect. So I'm really opening out here. Well done, that looks lovely. So next one, come up, but I want 2 straight legs. So this one takes a little while to get into. Front foot and back foot are both pointing forwards. Tip forwards at that waist, so toe and heel are in line. Head comes forward, Turn that toe in a little bit if you can, relaxing the back of your head. Fingers go down onto the floor and just really, really feeling that stretch on the backs of your legs here. Knee comes to your toe, and then if you can, lift up your front toe. Good, and lower it back down again. Good, one more time. So lifting up and down. Good, and one more. And I can feel that crazy stretch in my calf. This time, come and walk that leg back. So hopefully we feel a little bit warmer than when we've started in that hip flexor. So I want you to change your hands, that you're going from front stretch here to back stretch here. And I want you to give me that inching forward. So to start with, keeping that push-up position with your back foot, trying to square off your hips. So again, this takes loads of core to find your balance in this position. And try not to cheat. It's easier if you turn that hip up. I want a pure stretch. That hip has gone down in towards the floor. Once you've got balance there, switch your foot so you're sliding the top of your foot forwards and try and hold that position. So I'm taking quite a lot of weight into my hands. I would love it if I could get my chest up, but slide that heel and just hold it for a couple of breaths. I'm turning that knee to the floor, trying to hold that really deep split stretch here as long as you can. When you're ready, put your knee down to the floor, and so then you're in a hurdler's stretch. And then this is one that I find really hard, it's pigeon in yoga. So you're trying to square off your hips, come and reach forwards and give me a hamstring stretch here. So I'm trying to go for straight back. I always get such a deep hamstring stretch. So try and keep your back straight. Doesn't matter if you're here or you can bend all the way down, as long as you're feeling that stretch in the back of your leg. That's perfect. Now come and bend your front leg in. So we used to call this being like on the walk. It was a jazz stretch. And again, it's about stretching out your IT band, and then come and walk forward. So trying to really get into that IT band, that knee, opening out your hip joints and stretching forwards. It's definitely one I've always found very hard. Good, just come up to sitting in this position. Come and stretch over one side. Lovely, and up and over the other side. She said pulling faces slightly. Good, and come up. Lovely, come and put those knees together and start with the other foot. So, we started in kneeling. Hands were linked together. This time I want you to drop your head as you tuck everything under. So you're trying to make your body into a C shape. So I'm feeling that stretch in my shoulders. Toes are going down. Core is tight. Opening out into my chest here and lifting back. Hands go on your bottom. Elbows come together. Well done. Good, and coming onto the other side. So, we started in hurdler's stretch, turning our hip down here, and then just inching your leg back. And each one, just hold where you can get to comfortably in the stretch here, and then push that foot forwards, and just hold that position. So I'm still in push-up foot at my back, and then try and slide a little bit further forwards, so turning that hip, and just see how far you can hold this, how long can you extend this stretch, core is tight, can you get any further down to the floor? Well done. When you're ready, come out of it. Perfect. So take that hurdler stretch to start, or pigeon if you're in yoga. So you've got one leg bent, one leg straight, and try and lean forward. So head goes onto your knee. Stretching out that back. Hands come forward, relaxing that head. Well done. Come and bend that knee a foot up. So you've got a straight line here, and then try and come forwards. So you can probably see so much tighter on this side. So we're going into those hips, trying to stretch forwards. Making funny noises this side. So you're trying to get both hips down onto the floor. You can feel it into your IT band. That one is working. Brilliant. While we're here, come out wide to the side. So that was the outside of your legs. This one, side stretch. Come up and over. You should feel that on your inside thigh. Brilliant. Come up and over the other side. Good. So reaching along your fingertips. Perfect. And come and stretch forwards in this position. Trying to relax your head down. Perfect. And come up. Lovely. So next for you, I want you to come and roll down onto the floor. So rolling through your spine and hands come above your head. Come and drop your knees to the side and your feet are together. And think about relaxing your lower back into the floor and palms come up into the air. Just take a second in this position to breathe and connect to the floor. Try and get all of your stresses and worries to sink down into the floor. Any aches and pains, just feel like the floor's taking it away. Let those knees relax. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And just let gravity do the work on your legs, like your knees getting any further down. If you felt like you had any tight muscles, wanted to relax those hips down, just take that time to breathe in and out here. When you are ready, take your hands to your head and come and give me a crunch. Now, crunches with your legs wide, they can feel harder because they're stopping your hip flexors from doing any of the work. So you are trying to flatten your lower back down into the floor, looking up at the ceiling, breathing out into the corner of that room. Good. So relaxing that neck and shoulders. Perfect. You've got two more. Well done. And one more. Hold this last one up. Good. And use your hands and reach a little bit further forward in that position. You feel like someone's pulling your fingers. Well done. Knees come in and try and give me your heels up towards you and stretch out your shoulders and your hips. Good. In this bridge position, I want you to come down and up. So you're squeezing your bottom and you've got 10 and 9. You've got 8 and 7. You've got 6 and 5. You've got 4 and 3. You've got 2. Last one, hold it up at the top. Stay there, take your hands to the side, knees come together, lifting your hip up. And just hold that single leg bridge for me. You should feel it working in your back bottom cheek. Maybe feel it working in your tummy. And just stay there, coming right up into your head. Lovely. And switch over to the other side. So knees are together, hips are off, tilting that hip up to the ceiling. Good. And you're holding that there for 5 and 4. You've got 3, 2 and 1. Lovely. Knees come into your chest to relax that lower back. Lift your head up to work it a little bit harder. And come and circle your knees so you can feel that great stretch on your lower back. And then circle the other direction. Perfect. This time, come and take your feet and stretch them away from you. So this is a table position. Think about tilting your hips under. Lower back stays on the floor, lift up your head, stretching your hands forward. So if you needed to, you can relax your head into your hands here. It's that lower tummy that I'm working on. Good, from this position, I want you to come and give me a switch. So, you're trying to point your toe. If you can do this with straight legs, you're going to get an extra stretch and head stays up. Good, so if you can do me 10 more, so you've got 10 and 9, 8 and 7, 6 and 5, you've got 4 and 3, it's perfect, you've got 2 and 1, lovely. Come and relax, knees come in towards your chest here. Core is tight, knees come in, stretch those legs forward, lower back comes into the floor, so this is you're getting ready, so you're resetting your lower back position. To stretch those feet slightly further away, to feel it more in your abs, lift your head off to your level 2 to make that harder. Well done. Now this time I want you to go the other way. I want you to scissors with those legs open and then cross over. So you've got two options here. You can put your head down and just have that inside thigh stretch. If you lift your head up, you're going to get more upper abs and working those inside thighs at the same time. Good, you've got 2 more. And 1, lovely. Now come and reach through, pulling those fingers. So this is just a gentle crunch. You're also getting an inside thigh stretch. So keep going. I want you to really feel how far forwards can I get. We've done quite a lot of work on your inside thigh today. Should feel a little bit looser than when we started. Good, coming forwards. Perfect, and knees come in. Well done, you've got 1 more round. So coming down, stretching those feet forwards. Think about that lower back going onto the floor, relaxing your ribs as you come down and tilting under with your hips. Perfect, lift your head up to make this harder. And then, other direction, I want you to point your toes, come forwards and back. So this is a bicycle movement. Now I'd like you to do me 10 with pointed toes, and then to change the muscle, I want you to kick and drive with your heel. So you've got 10 and 9, just hovering off the floor, lifting up. If you did want to support that head, don't feel any strain in your neck and shoulders. 3, 2 and 1. Lovely, knees come in to relax. I'm going to do that whole sequence again. So heels come in towards your bottom, hips come up here. Really think about squeezing those bottom cheeks. Come up as high as you can to stretch out those quads. Well done. Dropping bottom to the floor and come up again. Knees are pushed together, squeezing your butt cheeks to come out. Bum to the floor and up. Well done. Good. Really thinking about squeezing bottom cheeks as they come up. Good, 2 more. Great, and hold this last one. Single leg bridge here. So hip is right up to the ceiling, squeezing that bottom cheek. Perfect, switch over to the other side. Knees are together, hip is up. Well done, lower down. And come and give me feet to the side. So feet together, knees are to the side. So first set of crunches was with wide knees. So you're looking up to the ceiling, really trying to think about that lower back, squashing in as your head comes up. Breathing out on the way up, trying to keep your tummy as flat as you can. Perfect, hold that here. Hands come forwards and a little pulse. Try and see if you can get any higher. So you've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Come and bring those feet up to table. So table itself, if you relax to start with, and then take those feet away, trying to get your lower back onto the floor, tilting your hips under, and head comes off. So holding that here. Good, stretching those feet. Perfect, and now giving those switch. So you've got 20 and 19, you've got 18 and 17, 16, 15, you've got 14, 13 and 12, 11, 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Knees come into your chest here. There's your release. You can bring your head up to get a bit more stretch on your lower back. Now come and tilt forwards. I need to change my angle so I don't kick the wall. So knees come in, stretch away from you. Lower back comes into the floor. Head comes up into that table position here. Lovely. Straighten your legs. And then I want you to come wide and up, wide and up. And on this one, you've got a choice of arms. You can come and have your hands in your head relaxed in your hands, interlace my fingers. You can come and do with the crunch. You're coming through and up. So then you're getting really strong ab. I do love the feel of this one. It makes my lower back go into the floor. I can really feel those lower abs working, and I'm getting a free inside thigh stretch with each one. Good. Last one, knees come in. Feel that lovely lower back stretch. Circle your knees if you want to. Good, and come back to that table position. So table coming here. Find that point at which you can still keep your lower back onto the floor, but it's engaging those bottom abs so they can still go flat. If you want to put your hands on them, you shouldn't feel a doming coming up. You should still be able to flatten into the floor, and you can really feel that scoop. So you tilt your hips forward here. Lovely. This time I want the bicycle. So 10 reps with your feet pointed. Level 2, lift your head up. Perfect. And 1. Good. And now drive through that heel. Good. So your head is up, chest is up, core is nice and tight. Again, I can really feel that lower back. Well done. Knees come in. Perfect. Now, this next one, I want you to do my favourite rocks. Coming up into your shoulder and then come up to sitting. So really going back and forward. Letting that floor massage your spine. Good. Lovely. This last one, I want you to tip back. So tip back here, come into that plough position, so you're right up onto those shoulders. If this feels too much, and you just want to stretch the backs of your legs here, that's absolutely fine. If you can, go over into plough. Splitting your legs sometimes helps in this position, can support your lower back into your hand. And then, if you want to increase this, come up into shoulder stand. If you're very good, you might not need your hands to support you. You might be able to just use your core. This is such a good position of getting the blood circulating again into your head. It's a really good energizing position. Come and bring those knees back in. Go into plough if you can, or just stretch behind the backs of your legs. Good, bend those knees. One more shoulder stand if you can. Good, and try and find horizontal. That's perfect. Good, and roll out of this one. And now I want you to come either to give me one more bridge, so stretching in the other direction. So level 1, just stay in bridge here. Try and push up as high as you can. You could use your bottom, your hands on your bottom to give yourself a bit of a lift if you wanted to. If you want to make this one harder, tuck your hands right close to your head, palms come up, and breathe out into full bridge. Let's go. Good, straighten. Good, hold that for as long as you can. Mine didn't feel like it was very available to me today. Good, give me those knees in towards your chest. Come and straighten one leg. Take that other leg across your body. And so this feels a bit like you're a pretzel, but you should feel it stretching out your lower back, stretching out that T-band and your hips again here. Come up into the middle, one straight leg, knee comes across over to the other side, hands come across your body and stretching those fingertips across. Well done. Come bring those knees all the way up into your chest. Come and rock up to sitting here. Just come and sit cross-legged for me. I want you to come and give me your ear. Drop towards your shoulder and stretch out your scalenes. They're a muscle that runs all the way into your neck. Sometimes I feel like I've got earache if my scalenes feel tight. And then come and push onto the floor here. Hand is pushed down. Good, come and switch over the other side. So it's quite a difficult one to feel. You might need to use your camera. So it's just a tilt going this way. But it's such an important stretch. Again, especially we're doing so much more texting, typing, computers. And then bring your chin down to your chest. Lift up to the ceiling. Good, chin comes down. And comes up. Perfect. And now look side to side. Good. Come and give me some shoulder circles. My shoulders get crunchy when I'm stressed. I don't know about yours. Good. Come and circle the other way. Now, last stretch for today is your triceps. So, try to stretch out that underarm. Chest stays off. Elbow is up. Good. Switch over to the other side. Perfect. Then come and wiggle your fingers. Wiggle them forwards. Shake everything out. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you.